Blessed Thursday sa ating lahat kung nasan man kayo po, mga Filipinos dito sa Malaysia, particularly dito sa Sabah, mga overseas Filipino workers, kababayan, kapatid at kaibigan natin sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo. And of course, ang mga kaibigan, kapatid and kababayan natin po dyan sa Pilipinas, Blessed Thursday tayo, last day of April and sweldo ngayon, di ba? Sweldo ngayon, di ba? So, ingat-ingat ang sweldo natin dahil dapat may budget tayo. Kung hindi, magalit si Mrs., no? Magalit si Mrs. And mahal mga bilihan ngayon, kaya nga, ingat talaga. Let's be prudent and let's be wise in spending our budgeted money po. Budgeted, limited salaries natin po, no? Ingat-ingat lang tayo po para at least wala tayong problema the whole month of May. And tomorrow, narinig ko po na dyan sa Pilipinas, holiday kayo dahil Labor Day tayo po sa Pilipinas. And of course, sa Malaysia po, yes, of course, we also celebrate ang Labor Day po. Kasi ito na po ang araw para sa ating lahat po, no? Mga trabador, mga workers. This is the day wherein makita natin po, we have to relax and sa Pilipinas, ang dami yun mga functions dyan po, no? Tomorrow especially yun mayroon kayong mga job fairs, no? So take advantage of the job fairs. Alright, April 30 and Thursday, and today we are going to touch on one or two issues na po. And diretso na tayo sa topic natin. Let's go straight to our topic. And of course, our topic is still regarding about the impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte, of which yesterday we heard it, we saw it, and I shared with you po some video clips on the hearing of the Justice Committee of the House of Representatives, wherein all the 53 justice members of the Justice Committee po, voted for affirmative on the impeachment complaint of Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. In other words, all the 53 congressmen who were present, who are members of the Justice Committee po, they all agreed and voted yes that there is a probable cause on the two impeachment complaint against Inday Sara Duterte. The Zabala complaint and of course the Cabrera complaint. And at the end of the proper hearing po, si Congresswoman Laila De Lima also passed a motion to incorporate na lang po itong dalawang impeachment complaint na mayroon sufficient in form, sufficient in substance, sufficiency in grounds, and my probable cause. My probable cause. So, they will incorporate it para walang problema po when they will transmit, kung sakali, they will pass the report to the plenary ng House of Representatives by, I was made to understand, ang next schedule is on May 4. No? May 4, they will pass their report, Justice Committee report to the plenary, and the plenary will discuss, and most likely by May 11, they are going to vote for whether to transmit the impeachment article of Inday Sara Duterte to the Senate, to the Senate. Now they need during the plenary, the members, all the congressmen should vote. 318 of them. They need 1/3 of the vote, and that is 106. 106. Once they get it, 106. So they will now transmit it to the Senate po, for the Senate to decide for the full-blown trial, impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte. So, yun po ang procedure. And if you ask me whether there will be difficulties in sabihin natin getting or securing the 100 or the 106 or 1/3 votes from all the 318 congressmen, I totally believe po, I totally believe na walang problema yon po. But of course, the number compared to last year, they managed to get during the votation of the one-third votes po, the congressman managed to get more than 200 plus votes. But this time around po, siguro sa May 11, I don't think so po that they are going to get the same number. I believe that it will be less than the figure of 200 plus of last year po. But definitely for me, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that 106 is easy for them to secure. Remember, during the votation, yesterday, mayroon na sila po a total of 53. 53 congressmen, and to get the balance po is very easy. Very easy po. Now, let me start, mayroon tayong mga video clips dito po. So let me start sharing with you itong mga video clips. And first video clip that I'm going to share with you po is regarding whether ang Senado po, if they will receive the impeachment article from the House of Representative. Let's say it will be on May 11. The House will be voting, so most likely the following day they will transmit it to the Senate. Whether the Senate is ready or not for the impeachment trial, ano na mga preparation nila, and of course, not necessarily forthwith, according to the latest announcement of the Supreme Court po, not necessarily ang forthwith dyan po, sa Constitution po, it doesn't mean na immediately po, forthwith, it is based on the reasonable period po. Reasonable period. Later on, I will also share with you some or a video clip on this issue. But in the meantime, let me share with you an interview with Senate President si Vicente Soto or si Tito Sen po, when he was asked by the Manila or national media on the preparation in the event the Senate will receive itong transmission of the impeachment article of Inday Sara Duterte by next month. Let's watch and listen to this video clip po. Hold on. Alright, I would like to shout out muna tayo po sa mga viewers natin, and one of our viewers from Zamboanga City, and I'm referring to Danilo Ritorta, who is also watching. Regards to you, Sir Danny, and of course, regards to you, to your wife, and your children po, Si Rico, si Kate, and of course, si Daisy, and lahat ang pamilya ninyo po, Alright, nandito ang video clip ni Tito Sen regarding itong issue, kung ready na ba ang Senado or hindi.
Anong preparations ang dapat na ginagawa ng Senate niya knowing pagbubotohan na po yung impeachment sa Kamara po?
Well, first of all, kahit nung araw na Senate President ako, bago mag-resume ang sessions, I usually call for all Senator caucus to discuss the possible agenda that we may be able to pass sa letang law. And then more so now, dahil there is a possibility that the articles of impeachment might be transmitted by the House. Pero as of now, everything is speculative. If ever, di ba? So what we will be doing in this caucus will be to discuss the agenda for the next month. And the last month of the first regular session of the 20th Congress. And then the possibility of receiving the articles of impeachment, then we will discuss the possibility of what preparation should be done. And the timetable, yun ang crucial As of now, the crucial is timetable. So again, everything will rely on whether the articles of impeachment will be transmitted to us or not.
Gaano po kahalaga na handa ang Senado if ever iakyat yung articles of impeachment? Ano kailangan nyo mag-convene na?
Napakahalagang nakahanda kami. Because the country, our countrymen are looking at this very seriously. Monitor nila yung sa house, di ba? So they will expect us to do our job once we receive it. Pero again, once we receive it.
May pressure
Muna tayo.
May pressure ba sa inyo, sir? Especially VP Sara ito, kilalang personalidad ito, Vice President itong ini-impeach.
Dapat ang mentality namin hindi ganyan. Dapat ang mentality namin, we have to do our job. We have to be impartial. Kahit sino ba yung ipapadala sa amin na articles of impeachment, we have to read, we have to look at it at a very impartial attitude. So, wala lahat dapat isipin ka lang.
Sir, pero kasi
Ano po yung possible timeline? Kasi ang sabi po ni Chair Ministro ay May 11 daw possible magpuntahan yung House of Plenary.
Ganun pa. Kasi ang balita ko nung una was when they resume on Monday, they'll discuss it already. So kung May 11 yan, that means
May 11 is a Monday.
May 11 pa lang nila hubutukan eh. So I cannot answer your question.
But sabi niyo crucial na timetable. Why?
O syempre, kasi may break eh.
Alright, yan po si Senate President Tito Soto. Alright, I will also share with you another video clip po regarding ang decision ng Supreme Council, ng Supreme Court, 14 something, di ba, ang boto on the issue of forthwith, no? Ano ba ito? Ibig sabihin, ang forthwith, not necessarily immediately, sabi ang Supreme Court, but it all depends on the reasonable period. Reasonable period po. Let me share with you itong video clip so that at least you will be clear on the issue po, no? Itong forthwith ito po, no? So, nandito. Let's watch and listen itong report. Saan na yon ang report? Okay, nandito po ang report. 110. 110. Okay? Nandito po. Para klaro, mas decente po. And then later on, I will share with you some video clip about the reaction coming from the legal team of Inday Sara Duterte.
Pinasura ng Korte Suprema ang petisyon na naglalayong pilitin ng Senado na agad magkunuin bilang impeachment court laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Sa desisyong 1401 sa kasong Generalio versus Senate of the Philippines, sinabi ng Korte Suprema na hindi tamang remedyo ang mandamus upang diktahan ang Senado dahil isa itong kapwa-sangay ng gobyerno na may sariling kapangyarihan at diskresyon. Gayunman, sinuri pa rin ng Korte kung may naging paglabag ang Senado at napagkalamang kumilos ito sa loob ng makatwirang panahon. Ipinaliwanag din ng Korte Suprema na ang salitang forthwith sa impeachment trial ay hindi nangangahulugang agarang aksyon, kundi sa loob ng reasonable na panahon, depende sa sitwasyon. Samantala, idineklara ring moot ang petisyon matapos mapawalang bisa ang articles of impeachment laban sa Vice Presidente sa mga naunang desisyon ng Korte. Dahil dito, wala nang basihan upang obligahin ang Senado na magtipon bilang impeachment court.
Alright, yun po. Narinig natin po ang decision ng Supreme Court. And this time around, let me share with you ang interview with the legal team ni Inday Sara Duterte po. And I'm referring to no other than attorney Michael Powa. And he was interviewed this morning ba yun or kagabi, na kay dyan po sa Bespoke program hosted by si Attorney Trixie Angeles. Attorney Trixie Angeles po. And nandito na po, let's not delay itong sharing of this video clip. So at least you will have an idea po, no? An idea. Nandito po and 237 po. Nandito, let's watch and listen. Ang dami ito, I prepared few video clips po. Because mahaba yung interview, I cannot give you the whole interview, portion by portion lang po. And let's start to share with you ang first video clip po. Si Atty. Angeles together with ang tandem niya. And of course, interviewed kay Atty. Michael Powa on the issue, what transpired yesterday dyan po sa hearing. Okay?
Yesterday, the House Committee on Justice voted 53-0. Shocker. A unanimous move on finding probable cause on the impeachment complaints against VP Sara Duterte. Joining today's discussion is the spokesperson for the defense team of Vice President Sara Duterte, Attorney Michael Poe. Welcome back to the spokes, Attorney.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So we're glad you're here. 53-0. Expected.
That was the number, and to be honest, we issued a statement yesterday. Sinabi naman namin it was not unexpected, meaning hindi na natin kinagulat, especially with the way the proceedings were going. Medyo it's really not a shock to us. Although, syempre, medyo maingat din kami sa mga sinasabi namin, mga pahayag namin, because as you know, we've already filed a petition for certiorari before the Supreme Court, specifically assailing the manner in which, these proceedings are being conducted at the moment.
On the sufficiency of substance of the impeachment complaint, the vote was 54-1.
Yes.
So what do you think happened with the two votes? Because it's just 53-0.
Well, I don't want to speculate, but I think meron din kasing mga mambabatas na that were not present yesterday. So, but again, I don't want to speculate. It is what it is.
So they're not just there physically.
May napansin ako ng mga wala kasi.
Kaya hindi sila nakaboto.
But even then, I don't even want to speculate on their vote kasi hindi natin masabi. Baka kahit nandun sila, affirmative rin naman yung vote. So, I don't
Does it
really
matter
want to
actually,
say
no?
that's
Kasi it's still the majority, attorney.
well, sa akin kasi, with the composition of the committee, plus yung mga statements naman na naririnig natin, and we have to admit, this is both a political and legal proceeding.
More political, in fact.
Oo,
Alam naman na impeachment. Di ba?
But again, I don't want to be unfair din sa mga lawmakers natin who voted affirmative. We'd like to, I always give them the benefit of the doubt, hindi ba? So baka naman talaga sa paniniwala nila, may probable cause. So I don't want to cast aspersions. But again, we're questioning kasi the proceedings mismo.
Yes.
For example, maraming mga lumalabas na mga ebidensya after nakapag-file na kami ng aming answer, di ba? So may mga ganyan kaming questions.
The matter.
Alright, that's it. You heard from Atty. Michael Powa po. Diyan po sa Dispoke ang programa ni Trixie or Atty. Trixie Angeles and yon tandem niya po. So, during the hearing yesterday, mayroon din yun po. They showed mga video clips, ni Inday Sara Duterte showing that she is threatening the president, the president, the wife of the president, si First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, and of course ang pinsan nila po si Martin Romualdez, and ito ang reaction ni Attorney Michael Powa on the issue of ito mga video clips po. Let's watch and listen ang video clip. Nandito po. Sandali. Nandito. Let's watch and listen to this. Alright, nandito.
Just yung pananaw lang namin to, again, with due respect to the committee members and of course the leadership. Pananaw lang namin, yesterday kasi meron ng mga videos pati ni Mayor Paste, which are not relevant to the proceedings. So, it makes us question, kung bakit ganun yung pinatunguhan. But again, sa atin naman, we have our own position, they have their own position. That's the beauty of a democracy, and we have already raised the petition before the Supreme Court. So sa atin, we'll just see
That's
acted upon.
it can also be a platform kasi na the more that they delay it, the more that they discuss it in the committee, it could have really an effect on the character of the vice president, no? Medyo hindi lang, as you said, no, it's the proceeding that you're questioning, not the probable cause already, di ba? Kasi nga, it's being used, the platform is already being used to assassinate the character of the vice
Already
president. Sorry for the word, but to lack of better word to say it.
I don't want to be accusatory, but of course that is always a fear of the defense. And then, syempre, sasabihin naman ng iba pa to naman sa atin na hindi naman kasi sumisipot ang vice presidents or ang defense team. Sa defense team naman kasi, ang pagkakaintindi namin is if the principal or the client is not there, then wala naman kaming gagawin doon but to assist, hindi ba the client? And so kung if the client is not there, then what's our participation? Secondly, with our client naman, I think we made it clear that with the petition that we filed with the Supreme Court, we have to remain consistent. No? And even speaking practically, for example, parating tinatanong kasi na is the respondent present, no, to maybe refute, rebut, or present controverting evidence doon sa present nila. But those pieces of evidence, allegedly pieces of evidence and testimonies that were given, hindi naman kami nabigyan ng advance copy ng mga dokumento niya. So, practically speaking, how is the Vice President or the defense even expected to answer right then and there intelligently, hindi ba kung hindi pa namin na-examine ang mga dokumento. So these are, nuances that that's why we believe that there was really no advantage in us attending or appearing.
Alright, yun, narinig natin si Attorney Michael Powa on the issue of yung mga video clips shown during the hearing yesterday dyan po sa Justice Committee of the House of Representatives. And dami pa din tayong mga video clips ngayon. I'm going to share with you lahat kayong mga followers ko dito sa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. And before giving you the next video clip, I would like to shout out muna tayo kay Dr. Aisen Lim, who is also watching itong programa natin, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. And I was made to understand si Dr. Aisen Lim is watching from the Philippines, dyan po sa probinsya ng Tawi-Tawi, and the capital barangay is Bongao, if I'm not mistaken. So, kumusta kayo, Dr. Aisen? And of course, I would like to extend ang Godspeed blessings sa kay Dr. Aisen Lim, and of course ang immediate family members niya po, as well as ang mga tao dyan po sa Tawi-Tawi. We call them Tawi-Tawiyans. Alright, let's move on. Another question raised during the talk show this week is yun na po, regarding anong masasabi si Michael po regarding allowing ang endorsers ng second impeachment complaint si Congresswoman Laila De Lima, Congresswoman Laila De Lima asking questions to the resource person or witnesses pa po, And ito ang reaction ni Attorney Michael Powa. Ito po, nandito. Let's watch and listen to this po. Okay, medyo may konting delay tayo. Alright.
Also an issue with the defense that Congresswoman Laila De Lima, who endorsed the impeachment complaint, is also allowed to ask clarificatory questions and then also make manifestations and cast her vote.
It was a thought that entered the defense mind, obviously, kasi syempre may bias pag pag-endorser ka rin. However, I think even during the president, when the president's impeachment complaints were being tackled, na-raise na rin yata yan. And if I remember correctly, they said that for as long as they're members of the committee, they can ask. And so we did not see the point na rin of raising that issue. And of course, this is with all due respect to Representative De Lima, who I have the utmost respect for also.
In fact, even if you're not a member, you can also ask questions and make statement, except that you cannot vote, di ba?
You cannot ask questions, and yun ang naging rule nila. Like, that's why
You can just make your statements kasi si Paolo,
Congressman Paolo,
Marcoleta.
Congressman, I think, Nazal, they can only make manifestations, no? Or enter manifestations.
They cannot ask questions because they cannot be answered.
No, because that's in their,
because you're not
that's in their rule, eh.
Yeah.
Alright, yun po, narinig natin si Atty. Michael Powa na medyo ako kay Michael Powa, no? Maganda mga how he answered questions, and he's playing safe, very respectful sa kabilang kampo po, and he's just sticking to the issue po, no? And wala nang iba, he don't want to go beyond board, no? Beyond board po. And maganda yun po ang style ni Atty. Michael Powa. And another question na raised during the talk show po was on the issue of or the claim that VP Sara Duterte visited si Madriaga po dyan po sa selda niya po, sa selda ni Madriaga. And of course, Inday Sara Duterte refuted it po, denied that there is no such thing because she even doesn't know, she claims she doesn't know ito si Madriaga, ang so-called self-proclaimed bagman ni Inday Sara Duterte. And of course, sabi ni Madriaga during the previous hearings na siya po talaga ang something like a trusted person, not only of Inday Sara Duterte, but also kay former President of the Philippines, si Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Alright, let's watch and listen to this po. Saan na tayo po? 114. Alright? Saan yan 114? Nandito po.
VP Sara
Okay.
Ramil Madriaga and former Congressman Arnie Teves in jail. So, how much weight does you think this carry?
Well, that information came about yesterday. That's not true. The Vice President has always denied visiting Madriaga because by the mere fact that she does not know Ramil Madriaga personally, so we don't see any reason why
Where
she
are they
would visit.
getting this, no? Na meron silang evidence na nagpunta
Let's be fair, kasi nagsabi naman ang ating NBI director, kasi bago siyang director, no? And nagsabi naman po si Director Matibag that it's allegedly supported by documents. So we'd like to see the documents. We wouldn't want to comment on that now because si Secretary John Vic Remulla already mentioned, diba, a few weeks, if not months ago, that it was actually Arnie Teves that
Vice
President visited.
allegedly
Visited. And so these things are supported by records. The warden is there. The lawyer of Arnie Teves was there. So tingnan na lang natin kung ano tong mga dokumento that he was pertaining to. Again, to at least be fair, may dokumento daw kasi. So the defense is ready to confront these documents and even the witnesses.
Alright, yun. Narinig natin po. And another question na raised during the interview, yun po ang, I don't know if you saw, some of you maybe have seen ang hearing na kahapon, and mayroon yun portion dyan po wherein si Congressman Benny Abante mentioned or said something like hindi daw fit si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte to be the next president of the Philippines. And yun po ang question raised kay Atty. Mike Powa for his reaction. So, ano ang reaction ni Atty. Powa? Nandito po. Let's watch and listen to this po. Okay, 137. Okay, nandito. Let's watch and listen to the reaction or a reply made by Atty. Powa.
Abante said to the effect that the VP Sara is not fit to be president. So what is the defense's reaction to this?
I don't want to address Congressman Abante directly because
Yes,
I
of
don't
course.
know Congressman Abante and I do respect him as well. But I think, let's leave it to the people kung yung mga comments na ganyan, is this still really impeachment or is it more of the 2028 presidency ang tinitingnan? But I will
always
leave it to the
that,
people. Now, of course, I have my personal opinions on the matter, but I don't think it's appropriate for me because nandito lang naman ako on the legal matters.
So, speaking of jail visits, Congresswoman Laila De Lima stated that to the effect that all Dutertes have violent tendencies, which is part of actually one of her manifestation after making clarificatory questions. This actually underscored for me, for those who are watching, that it seems that manifestations are being made independent of the clarificatory questions.
At ibalik din natin po sa ano ba talaga ang purpose nitong committee hearings. Hindi ba ang dapat na purpose nito is to determine if there's probable cause on the impeachable offenses, meaning acts that were committed allegedly during the term of the Vice President. So if it goes beyond the acts of the Vice President and goes to her family, etc., I think that is way beyond the scope of the purpose of these proceedings.
Yeah, but
Alright, ayan po, narinig natin. And during the hearing yesterday, siguro mali ako po. If I am wrong, then 1,000 apology po. No? But the way how I got it, that when I was monitoring the hearing yesterday po, which started at 10 o'clock and ended up around 4:30. No? Kahapon yun po. When they were talking about the thread made by the so-called thread of Inday Sara Duterte kay BBM and the wife, First Lady, and also ang first cousin niya po, the former Speaker of the House, si Martin Romualdez, parang meron yun na narinig ko po na ang director ng NBI, National Bureau of Investigation, si Attorney Melvin Matabag, no, mentioned na there is a possibility that itong assassin that Inday Sara was talking about, when she said, kung something will happen to me, nag-order na daw siya itong tao po to also kill or assassinate si President Bongbong Marcos, Lisa Araneta, and Martin Romualdez po. And according to what I heard, I hope I'm wrong, na sabi ang NBI na the person they already identified is a security of Inday Sara Duterte po. Pero parang mali yata yun po, no? Parang mali yata yun po. Kasi splice ang video clip that they presented during the hearing yesterday po, no? So, anyway, nandito po ang explanation or reaction made by Attorney Michael Poa on this issue po, on this issue. Let's watch and listen to this po. Let's watch and listen to this. Hold on. Okay.
Yung nakausap daw niya na tao ay yung security niya because ang sinasabi daw ay huwag ka mag-alala ma'am, sa aking security may nakausap na ako, but that's misinterpretation because the question before that, there was a question of a reporter or a vlogger at that time, on the security of the Vice President, meaning threats to the Vice President's life, which they pertain to allegedly called Project Romanov. She was responding to that. That's why she said, huwag ka mag-alala sa security ko, meaning her security. Kasi nga may threat daw. So, hindi tama yung, parang kinonek yung iba yung pagkabasa at sinabi na security niya yung kinausap niya. It was really more of, huwag ka mag-alala sa security ko, and then blah blah blah, may nakausap na ako, blah blah blah. So I think it's really context dapat yung tinitingnan natin. We also have to look at the context of the situation prevailing at that time when that was made, that those statements were made.
Alright, klarong-klaro po. That's how I look at it, how I saw, how I understood po, no? There was a question raised about the security, and Inday Sara Duterte was referring ang security niya po, no? Ang safety niya po. But it doesn't mean na the one whom she talked to, something happens to her, also assassinate si BBM po, mali yun po. Ha? Splice ang video. But anyway, we will everything po kung sakali itong impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte will be transmitted to the Senate, and the Senate will conduct a full-blown impeachment trial po. And most likely po, it will be transmitted next month, and siguro by, I don't know how fast they can do it, no? Depende yun sa Senado, how soon they will start ang impeachment trial. Anyway, I will continue to monitor po. Okay, on the issue, whether itong hearings po is affecting sa ang defense ni sa defense team ni Inday Sara Duterte, nandito din ang reaction or reply ni Attorney Michael Poa. Nandito po.
Transpired.
Okay, hold on.
In the last two hearings, I think the 22nd and the 29th, does this affect the trajectory of your defense?
Not really. We of course, as you know, si Attorney Mans Carter already filed a case against yung disclosures ng AMLC. I'd like to clarify then, it's good that you brought that point up because yesterday I think it was mentioned that it was the defense team behind the case that were filed. That is categorically untrue because may sariling legal team si Attorney Mans, and it's unfair. He is, and it would be unfair naman doon sa lawyers niya who worked on that complaint na i-attribute yun sa defense team. We're totally separate teams. We do not coordinate with each other. So iba yung kay Attorney Mans. But trajectories, amin naman, we've always known, sabi ko nga, di naman kami nagulat doon sa finding of probable cause yung naging totohan kahapon. So, we've always been prepared for this
Yung
possibility.
1 step, 2 steps ahead.
Trabaho namin yan.
Yes.
Diba? Trabaho natin yan. We always have to anticipate the worst. Hope for the best, anticipate the worst. So, we're ready. Whatever happens sa plenary, I think aabangan pa rin natin yung plenary. We also don't want to preempt kung ano man yung maging boto sa plenary. Ayaw natin silang pangunahan.
And that fourth
Alright, yun po, narinig natin. Shoutout muna tayo kay Mary Lupentojo, is also watching itong programa natin on a Thursday afternoon po, April 30, last day of the month. And another question raised, si Attorney Trixie kay Attorney Poa is anong ang comment niya po regarding ang decision ng Supreme Court about the issue of forthwith. Forthwith. Nandito po ang reaction or reply ni Attorney Michael Poa. Nandito po. Let's watch and listen to this. Okay, sandali. Alright, nasaan na yun? 112. Okay. Alright, nandito po. Let's watch and listen to this.
At least we finally put that issue to rest kasi it was, grabe.
Were you also expecting that?
The forthwith decision,
Yeah, the forthwith
no, to be
decision.
honest, we weren't expecting it to come out. In fact, nawala na siya kasi sa circulation. So,
Congress.
but I think it's good that finally, meron na tayong ruling from the Supreme Court kasi yan yung malaking debate last year.
The Vice President just issued a statement. Tama ba to? It was to Attorney Paul Lawrence Lim. Is he counsel for the Vice President?
Yes, for the DOJ case, no, yung
I
grave
see,
threats.
okay.
Yung grave threats. Kasi yung napag-uusapan kahapon na allegedly yung mga statements ng ating Vice Presidente, subject na yan kasi ng NBI complaint that was filed before the DOJ. In fact, we appeared there,
Yes.
I think, last year, mga May yata yung 2025. We already appeared for preliminary investigation. So, as far as we know, this is already subject to the resolution the DOJ panel of prosecutors. No?
So,
Alright, yan po. Yon ang reaction. Finally po, mayroon pa tayo isang video clip do. And this time around, it's all about the Anti-Money Laundering Council. No? Ang reaction ni Michael or Attorney Michael Powa po. Let's watch and listen to this po. This will be my final and last video clip that I have prepared para sa inyong lahat po. Alon, nandito.
the AMLC report is not a violation of the data privacy.
Well, actually, iba kasi yung data privacy, meron din kasi provision dun sa batas mismo
Yes.
na AMLAC, no, which is yung section 8A. I think yun yung contention din sa Scorpio. So, I don't really want to get into that because there's already a case filed. But, coming from at least my personal perspective, ang impeachment ay both political and legal. So, despite our objections, there is a need to inform the public at least on these things that are coming out. And that's why we're here to at least explain our side on yung pananaw namin dito sa mga AMLAC reports na ito. Oo.
So, and yesterday, former Commission on Audit Commissioner Heidi Mendoza was a guest at the Spokes, and she raised the point that SALNs of the VP prior to becoming Vice President are crucial evidence of movement of net worth to identify possible fraud or ill-gotten wealth.
Well, again, let's go back to the definition of what an impeachable offense is. No? An impeachable offense or offense is committed when the impeachable officer is in office. And so we think that everything else that was outside her term as Vice President is irrelevant. And as we all know, pagdating sa evidence, I do not wish to be technical, but we just have to say this. Admissibility is relevance and competence. No? So relevance means it has to be relevant to an impeachable offense. And competence is if it's allowed or not allowed by law. Diba? So sa atin, irrelevant na. But even then, that's why sabi nga namin, nung nag-press con kami last week, even then, may lumabas na AMLAC report, SALN issues. So, ina-address pa rin namin kahit na legally, we think all of these things are irrelevant to the impeachment proceedings. Ina-address pa rin namin para at least maliwanagan lang yung tao. No? So, yung SALN sa the Vice President already issued a statement that she has faithfully declared all of her assets. Lahat ng alam niyang sa kanya, dineclare niya talaga faithfully and throughout the years. And we don't see anything that will depart from that statement. Now, with the AMLAC, I think we've tried to explain this. Yung AMLAC reports, remember, they're on transactions.
Yes.
Transactions siya. Hindi yan apples to apples. Meaning, transactions do not equate to net worth or even cash in bank. Di ba? So, kasi ang transactions is kung ano yung dumaan na pera, hindi ibig sabihin nun, ayun yung pera.
Asset mo talaga.
Yun yung asset mo talaga. Second, if I may just expound on that, the AMLAC reports are aggregates, di ba? So they're a total of one's transactions, whether deposits, withdrawals, kaya may inflows, outflows, etc. And we're talking about a span of 19, 18 years. So kung
Na may mga negosyo rin siya.
mag-assess tayo ba if in-add niya lahat ng pag nag-add tayo ng lahat ng ating mga withdrawals, deposits, fund transfers, everything, hindi, kaya umaabot ng ganun kalaki. And
So yung
Alright, yon ang reaction coming from the legal team of Vice President Inday Sara Duterte regarding the impeachment complaints, which was unanimously voted, 53 of the Justice Committee members, no? All of them unanimously voted for the probable cause sa impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte yesterday. So, tingnan natin po what will happen. Let's see, sa May 4, I will continue to monitor. And of course, sa May 11, there will be accordingly voting. And then, if they will get the 1/3 votes, or 106, then the House of Representatives will transmit the impeachment article dyan po sa Senado, and let's see whether maano na ito po. There will be a full-blown impeachment trial kay Inday Sara Duterte. So, I hope, no? Ako po, in one way or the other, I'm very happy po, no? Na sana matuloy na ito po. Papunta na sa impeachment trial ni Inday Sara Duterte sa Senado para malalaman na natin po ang katotohanan. Yun naman ang gusto ni Inday Sara Duterte, Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. She said the right platform for her to answer all these allegations is during the impeachment, full-blown impeachment trial. No? It's done po sa Senado. So, maskin paano, I hope I managed to give you some details or mga updates regarding itong issue dyan po sa Pilipinas. In the meantime, siguro hanggang dito na lang ang programa natin, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. And I hope we are going to enjoy and have a fruitful and memorable month, no? Month of May. Month of May po, no? And bukas, we are going to celebrate the Labor's Day, and I would like to extend my advance greetings to everybody, no? Happy Labor Day to each and every one of us. So with this, Nico Fabian would like to say once again, thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Sabah, Malaysia, the Philippines, God bless us all. Let's pray for peace. Hindi lang po sa Pilipinas, dito din po sa Malaysia, and of course, peace para sa mundo. Peace on earth. So with this, I'll see you in my next episode. Bye! Godspeed! You take care of yourself, and of course, I love you all.